Residents of Harris County, Texas, facing the fallout from soft on crime policies. Crime Stoppers Houston reporting more than 150 people have been killed in that county by suspects out on multiple felony bonds over the past few years, and that they were released by progressive judges.
Our next guest is a West Point graduate who wants to restore funds to the Harris County criminal justice system. Let's bring in Republican candidate for Harris County Judge, Alexandra del Moral Mealer. Good morning, Alexandra. I guess you're running for this office because you want the principles and morals and really the way of life that you believe in and as a part of this country to be represented in Harris County. When I hear that, I believe the number was 115 folks that are accused or credibly charged with murder have been let out. I believe that's correct. What is the message there? In what situation does someone who has committed murder or charged with committing murder, in what situation do they need to be released without bail or released on bail?
Thank you for having me. And I would say right now what we're experiencing here in Harris County is really nothing short than a failure of leadership. And this problem really did start back in 2019. And to your point, that's when Crime Stoppers first raised the alarm about this new slate of progressive judges that started routinely releasing the most violent offenders back into our community. And it's resulted in that death toll, over 150. And to really bring this point home, right now there's 113 people charged with murder that are out walking our streets right now, one of whom not only has been convicted of 2 armed robberies, but is currently being charged with murdering a 17-year-old boy in a road rage incident, after an Astros game. So I think we all have to sort of take a step back and think, is this really the America we want to live in? For me, I have 2 young toddlers, and I can tell you it's absolutely unacceptable. And more troubling, my opponent that I'll be hopefully running against, Judge Lina Hidalgo, she's really become a progressive icon for advocating this radical and perverse view of bail reform that is continually putting the focus on the justice for violent offenders instead of standing up and advocating for justice for victims and for just basic public safety in our community.
Yeah. It's candidates like you that are pointing out the lunacy of the ideas that are currently in place in so many of these progressive districts. And it's crazy to think of Houston as a progressive district. What would you do instead? What would your policies be instead to turn around what you're seeing right now?
No, sure. So right now in Harris County, we don't just have a crisis in our streets. We actually have a crisis in our jails. We just had a sheriff deputy that was brutally raped for 15 minutes because we've defunded the jail so tragically that we don't even meet basic inmate to guard ratios. And our local leaders are all facing corruption charges right now, including Judge Lina Hidalgo herself, who's under grand jury indictment. So sometimes here in Harris County, we have to wonder, if she's trying to outdo Joe Biden and who can create more chaos in the shortest amount of time. So for me, the solution's pretty simple. This November, we obviously need to elect a new slate of Republican judges who will enforce the law. And then as county judge, I will fully fund our legal defense system and back the blue. Thank you.
Yeah, and 150 people who might have been here with us today had the criminals who killed them not been out on felony bond. I mean, it's just incredible. Thank you so much, Alexandra del Moral Mealer. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.